As you know, by the time you wake up tomorrow, the Prime Minister of Australia will have sat down for a meeting with the President of the United States. It will be the third time in a few years that an Australian Prime Minister has sat in the Oval Office. You remember we were there for Scott Morrison when it was his meeting with Donald Trump. We watched from afar when it was Joe Biden giving the red carpet treatment, and we will all find out what happens at about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when these guys actually end up meeting. Now, despite the fact I don't like the Prime Minister, I think the best of Team Australia, and I want it to be a good meeting. And let's be honest, while there are many people, including maybe myself in some parts somewhere, who would love to see this sort of Zelensky-like blow-up between a lefty and Donald Trump, who virtually disagree on more than they will agree on, this thing's going to go fine. The American media won't pay any attention to the visit because there's a government shutdown. There's also matters to do with an apparent meeting in the Oval Office in the past few days with Zelensky and Trump where they were talking about which bits of the country were going to be traded up to get Russia to back off. There's a lot of other things, so it'll only be the Australian media that will really be interested in the interaction. There will no doubt be many people that will tell us the body language of both leaders says they hate each other or they love each other. But of course, Team Australia means I hope the meeting goes well. But as always, sometimes we have to burst the bubble, and interestingly, some polling came out today about what Australians' expectations of the meeting will actually be. And while I am a fan of Trump and I am happy with what is happening in the United States, remember, in part, Albanese was able to win the last election in the way that he did by pretending that anyone but him was too close to MAGA. 48% of people say that it simply should be polite to Trump but be firm in representing Australian values. Is that a surprise to you? 25% of people want him to blow up at Donald Trump. Presumably, 13% of people are more looking at Trump being able to maybe give him a whack, and 14% of people are too busy to really care. Amongst Labor voters, again, the vast majority want it to be polite, which is what it will be. Half of Coalition, the same. Unsurprisingly, 40% or 39% of Greens voters, they're the ones who would like Albo to blow up at the president. Well, that ain't going to happen. And again, the vast majority of the other voters, which go everywhere from Teal to One Nation, again, this thing will be exactly what you think it will be. Uneventful. No matter how much the Australian media will pretend that it's a major moment for both leaders, it won't be. If you want to watch it live, it happens in the middle of the night. There'll be full coverage again in the morning with Andrew Clennell, who's in Washington for the meeting, and Pete Stefanovic, of course, with First Edition. Make sure you start the day there and check everything out in between at skynews.com.au.